Hey everybody, how's it going? Back with another exciting episode of Habbo Hotel. Today we're going to be selling off all of our Fernie and getting some nice sweet coins for that. No, I'm just joking. Actually, we're looking at Dwarf Fortress in, the Stone Sense mode. So we're getting a look at some of the graphical version of the fortress, a little bit better looking than what we usually see. You can see our little dirty outside area. You can see what a mess it is actually. This is the area where actually Donald Trump just exploded open that carpenter workshop and threw all those floodgates all over the place, and I guess a couple barrels and whatever. We've got our workshops that are just clustered all over out here, and our little wooden wall, and our actually we can take a look at our construction up top where we're closing that wooden area off, so you can see we're up on a bit of a cliff side here. Not so much a cliff, but like a little overhang, and we're just building down that wooden flooring over top of us to keep us safe from any further were-badger or whatever attacks. And then we can come underground, see our mines. There's not a lot to our fortress yet, but you can see our mines down here. And actually, if we go down another, I think it's 2 layers. Yeah, here's where the throne room's going to be, right up here. This is what we're looking at so far. In regards to the throne room, this is where dwarves are going to come down, and I think we're going to have, probably bedrooms, armories, everything on this level eventually. Right now, all we've managed to do is hollow it a little tiny bit for that throne room, but I'm pretty excited about it. So something kind of awful happened. When I was recording the other day, we got a full episode of recording done, and I hadn't realized it, but I didn't properly save Dwarf Fortress. So I actually lost everything that had been done in the last episode, though since I already knew what happened in the last episode, I just redid everything the best I could to be almost the same as what we did before. So we're kind of like right now living in like an alternate timeline where everything happened in the last episode, but just slightly different. Like in this timeline, if we look at the new squad name is the Cobalt Creators, and Squidman's in charge of them. I figured Squidman was with us in the first series, and he died an untimely death. And I was adding him back in as a spear dwarf. I haven't been able to add Arthur Curry or Mira yet because I haven't found a couple that I want to introduce into the military yet. But Squidman was there, and I had a copper spear for him, so I chucked him in there. Head of the military, Squidman, head of the Cobalt Creators. And come on, what a cool name is the Cobalt Creators. I think that's awesome. That's better. I don't even know what the other name was for the last military squad, but I guarantee you the Cobalt Creators is a way better name. Also in this timeline, a little different. We still have 2 were creatures here. We have Zalben and Rimtar. Actually, Zalben had another name last time because I'd renamed him after somebody, but I'd renamed him and I hadn't realized that he was one of the were creatures, so I didn't bother renaming him this time. And he's just typical old Zalben, the militia commander, who turns into a werebeast once in a while and lives in here with a dead, whatever that weird animal was that they lived in here with. That also got trapped in here in this timeline. I don't even know what it was. Zang, the weird little giant guinea pig that apparently in the comment section, those weird guinea pigs that I've been talking about are almost the size of a dwarf, and dwarves could mount them if there was a realistic mounting option in this game, which unfortunately I don't believe there is, but maybe one day. So yeah, we've got roughly the same fortress that we left off with. There might be some minor differences. I'm sure some of you have noticed. Just little things like down here, I haven't assigned somebody to smooth out the whole of the throne room, and instead I've dedicated the actual throne room area to be smoothed out before wasting more precious dwarven labor on smoothing out a hallway that's probably going to get mined up anyways. Also, our little flooring area up top isn't finished yet, unfortunately, so we are still at some risk to have a other animal just jump down there and maul everybody to death, but hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. We've got our underwater drainage system. Somebody pointed out to me in the comment section that the best way to drain water off the map would be just to lead a tunnel over to the side of the map and create a fortification over here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just start on that now, because that seems like a rather straightforward plan. But actually I'm going to run the water off in this direction. Hopefully this works. I mean, does it let me mine off to the very edge of the map? I don't know. Or does it stop me one away from it? Let's see. This goes to here. Yeah, it seems to stop me one away from it, but we'll try. I mean, no harm in trying, right? And worst case, we'll bring the water. The other option that I was thinking of was bringing the water back up and just allowing the water pressure to allow the water back up and let it just re-merge with the river at some point. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll figure that all out later. But yeah, I'm just going to keep building away on the fortress, and we'll be back once we make a little bit of progress. We've made quite a bit of progress. We actually have a couple of traders showed up at the fortress, and we're going to try to trade off some of the gold junk. The gold that we have laying around the fortress that is junk to us because we just are kind of oversaturated in it. Just a little bit of news that came in from the outside world. It looks like maybe Butcher Pete, may have at one point been some kind of prominent figure in the Dwarven Society, though it looks like he's been replaced. Probably because I think he might have died. I have to look into that. But so there's a little bit of news from the outside world. He wants us to tell us what we want from his merchants. I don't really care either way. I'll just let them bring whatever they're going to bring. I'm not going to bias it in any way. And these guys, they want musical instruments, so we got to try to make those, and armor and cloth. Cut gems, bracelets. Bracelets actually might be fairly easy to make. Not a huge priority on them, but they're probably one of the easiest things that we could make. Anyway, so the traders are here. They've started unloading goods. I've just requested a few golden goblets that we have laying around at this moment to be brought over for trade, which we'll do in a moment. I just wanted to take a look at what we've done so far. It was suggested in the comment section to bring the water to the edge of the map and just use fortifications at the edge of the map to drain it. So I've brought the water over to the edge of the map and done just that. You go down one level and there's fortifications dug in here. So this is going to be like 2 little draining chambers. We have all our floodgates set up here, which is going to be like water out, water in, and then water will just sit in this middle section. So we've actually set up a little stairway where the water is going to be coming down from the river, brought down into this section where it's going to be stopped here and here, and stopped here, and I've got to get another floodgate put in here. So water will just sit in this section, and then when we open these floodgates here, water will fill up into the middle piece, and then when we want to drain it, we'll need both these open and these open and these closed, and then we'll be able to bring water down into these drainage chambers. All these levers are going to be set up in a little situation room that I've appropriated down here. We've got our first lever so far where we're just linking the water drainage levers. We're still working on more mechanisms to do a lot more. We are low on mechanisms. We got to get this guy. He's got to make a lot. Like, we've got a couple, but they're all going to be appropriated and used for this one project so far, and we've got lots and lots more to do. We're dumping down some floodgates into the fortress for the fact that I also want this to have an option to flood the base if need be, or at least kind of slowly flood the base. If something horrible happens, I'd like to have the nuclear option to just Atlantis this place up and to just put everything that we own underwater and just say goodbye to it. If the situation arose, if things were out of control, and then we could just hit a kill switch, flood the whole area, and be done with it, and then maybe move to the surface, or try to situate ourselves accordingly. That's just like a nice option to have. It's not something I necessarily want to do, but just something that we could do if we needed to. I'm just gonna have a trader brought over here. We don't have a broker. So just anybody that's available to trade with this guy. I'd like somebody to come over here soon, and then we can try to trade off those golden goblets that we've brought in there and see if they have any kind of just anything that we're gonna need, or anything that we can even get for those. So yeah, we've brought over 3 golden goblets. Let's see what they've got. Doesn't look like these are worth a lot. 19 dwarven currencies of some kind. Alright, let's see if they go for this. We've got our 3 goblets, golden goblets, that are showing me about 19 some kind of value. I'm not sure if that's value or weight. I think it's value. And I'm going to try to trade that for an iron shield, 2 steel helmets, bronze battle axe, and a bag of cloth. Let's see if they go for this. Let's see. I hope so. Are you sure you want to trade these goods? Absolutely. No, they won't trade at that kind of a loss. So I've miscalculated the worth of my trinkets. Let's try to go for it without the cloth bin, and let's see. Let's remove this iron shield. Let's see if he'll go for it now. I still won't trade at a loss. One of those helmets. Just one helmet. Are you kidding me? Okay, so he gave me an axe. One battle axe for it. One battle axe for 3 cups, fine, it's worth it. Now we've got a weapon that isn't copper, and we can just give that right over to, let's see, who needs it? Let's see. Let's go down to John here. Give him a specific weapon and give him the bronze battle axe. And take away that old copper battle axe. Now we've got one guy that might be able to kill something if he's really, really lucky. Though he has no armor because we weren't able to get that armor deal. Though we are crafting golden goblets at this point. Maybe we'll get enough made up by then. I don't think we can sell all our doors. So maybe we'll just try to get a couple golden goblets made up. I had the gold production on, obviously, cabinets for a long time. We had a lot of cabinets made. We don't have enough cabinets, but we had, cabinets made. We need another grate here. I just realized for this weird thing. What am I even doing? Wall grate. There we go. Throw a diorite grate there. So yeah, then we'll have, like I said, the Atlantis option. I really like that idea, to be able to flood the base, and we'll have the option to drain the water out of here, to drain the water in here, and we'll just have like a little plumbing substation here of lots of fun options with plumbing. I've always had a lot of fun when I get into Dwarf Fortress plumbing. Dwarf Fortress plumbing, I've learned, has a massive blood cost. In any project I've ever done in the past in regards to plumbing has killed many a dwarf. Up here at the level where we're also going to be bringing water into the chamber, as you will, down here, I've also just created stairs up to the surface for a quick getaway for the dwarves that have been unlucky enough to be subjected to mining that area out, so they hopefully can make a great escape instead of just drowning to death, which should maybe be a bit of an incentive for them to actually get in there and do the job that needs done. We've got we still have somebody working on floodgates, which is really totally unnecessary at this point. I think we're good on floodgates, and actually no, we're never going to be good on caskets. That guy, his job will never be obsolete. We need, as many caskets as we can get. I've seen a couple ghosts floating around. Let's just fill this this room here. Another mass grave. This one's the real mass grave. Like you can see up here, the de-evolution of the fortress so far. There's like this nice big open room with, every other space is a casket. And in here it's just bam! Anywhere that there's extra room, just throw a casket down in there and just flood it with bodies, because that's where we're at now. That's how many dead things we have. That's just how many times dwarves have died here. So, and I'm expecting many more deaths, especially after this plumbing project. Once this plumbing project's complete, I'd be surprised if anybody's left alive. Anybody at all. But yeah, so we're just going to be connecting these floodgates. It's going to take a while to connect every one of these floodgates. Like, actually, we have enough mechanisms to do the first part of the project, but we still need many more mechanisms made, and we're not, ready to complete this project by any means yet. Actually, is that okay? So actually, that lever has all the tasks that we need assigned to it. Once the door finally comes in here and finally links up that last floodgate to that lever, we should be able to open and close every single one of these floodgates with the pull of one switch. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and then we'll give it a quick test. All right, so the last floodgates have been attached to this lever. Let's just do a quick pull and we'll do that, set that as a priority, and we'll see who's the lucky dwarf, who's going to make that pull. Alright, so the lever's been pulled and every single one of those floodgates opened, so that initial test is a good, like a go, a success. That's good news. I mean, we have a lot more to do before that whole thing's done, but it is a start. So we'll just have that done now, and then we'll be able to close all these floodgates and we'll be able to open them all with one nice lever pull, open and close all those floodgates, and that's going to be for drainage so that we can move water from here down here and hopefully outside of the map that way. The next thing that we're going to obviously have to do is set up these floodgates, and then like I said, like the nuclear option to flood the fortress, we'll set those floodgates up separately, and that's all going to be set up down here in this little chamber, I think. Other news, we actually just had some migrants arrive while we were working on that, which is kind of cool. We're up to 45 citizens so far, and I'm sure to see a lot more. Again, we are limited right now. I think it was to 80. So we're not going to, necessarily have like an overwhelming number. We are limited down to that 80 number for now. I mean, maybe we'll boost that up later as things go on. But I'm going to call it here for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. It's so cool to see this community growing and see everybody commenting away, and just seeing like all the feedback from you guys just makes this game so much more fun to play and enjoyable to play with you guys as a community. Isaiah Barry, you saved me a ridiculous amount of time with your plan to drain the water off the edge of the map, like a ridiculous amount of time. I had this like awful plan where I was going to try to use the water pressure to bring the water back up a level and bring it back up and re-emerge it into the stream. That would have killed probably a lot of dwarves, so thank you so much for that help. Also, workplace communication, you totally gave me an idea of what to do with some of this gold and turn it into goblets, so thank you for that as well.